Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Brian Colletto Show on LinkedIn and YouTube, streaming to those platforms by way of Restream. And if it should ever be repurposed to other platforms, wherever you may listen to podcasts or live shows. And as a disclaimer, this is information that either I read or is pertaining to my experiences. This is not professional information, so please seek a professional for certain things in life. So, I first want to apologize for not scheduling this ahead of time. Um, the title of the show, Autism and Event Planning, is exactly that. Is my recent challenges with scheduling myself for upcoming events or what have you. So, like, for example, this week, there's a few things that are of interest, but I've whittled it down to one or two, just based on certain other factors like pricing, um, food that'll be involved, um, how I want the rest of my schedule to look, those types of things. And and in the case of the events I attended last week, this involved um, uh, activities that I was doing for my workplace. And so I have to balance between doing the outings that I want to do for myself and the outings that are good for exposure for my workplace in the area that we cover in New Jersey. So, and then I was also thinking about what events I know are on schedule in the coming weeks in September, particularly the second and third week of the month, where there are a bunch of events clobbered up together at the same time, but we could whittle it down to certain factors. I'm not going to get into all the logistics of that here out of respect for groups that I'm a part of, um, and because these events haven't happened yet. But I will say that um, based on certain experiences that have happened in the past with certain events that are an annual thing, um, and also areas that we cover, there are some targets that we're going for. So, and this, of course, for me, makes it to the point where sometimes it's easier for me just to not do anything and stay home. But I do push myself. And usually when I do an event that I wanted to do, I feel good about it afterwards, especially after I return back home from it. So, in that sense, it's very good. So, that's what makes me feel good about doing it. And to know that I'm making a good impact on people. And so, what were the events that I attended the past week since my last show? So, there were some events I attended. I attended a networking event with a a business alliance group that is in the county that I'm in. We've attended their events before, and it's a nice group. Then the next night, one of my coworkers and we had a table at a back to school night at our local mall. And this was the result of me attending a different event a few weeks ago where it was brought to my attention about this back to school night thing that might be good exposure for my workplace. So I did that. On the other hand, there in particular, there was an event last Thursday that I missed that because of doing the back to school night that I really wish I had a chance to go to. Why? Because one of the workers from that particular chamber of commerce is moving out of state. And without saying their story completely, I will say that I felt very touched by them, and I'm going to miss seeing them at the chamber events, and I also feel a little sad that we didn't get to do different kinds of settings for meeting outside of those events. But these things do happen in life sometimes. And again, came down to doing something for my workplace. So, and then this past Sunday, I attended an artisan market in downtown Somerville, and I hadn't been to that specific annual event in a few years. It was good to be back this year, and it was a lot of fun for 2+ hours there, and the weather was nice enough. I mean, it did get hot later in the day, but it was nice to start out, and there were plenty of clouds. So that is what I have for this week's show. And without getting too much into detail, if you could just pray for me personally, I would really appreciate that. And however much you listen to this, I appreciate you for stopping by for my show. And until the next time I come on, I send you all love, light, blessings, and peace. Take care.